If you're hesitating about applying for or accepting a job offer, this video is going to show you 4 ways you can check whether it's actually a better fit for you and worth going for. Hi everyone, I'm Geesha, your straight talking coach, offering you practical advice to improve and enhance your life and career. More often than not, the thing that stops us from accepting a job offer is fear of the unknown. It's a case of out of the frying pan into the fire, or better, the devil you know syndrome that keeps us staying where we currently are. Of course, we can't predict the future, but we certainly don't need to go into it blindly. So here are 4 ways to alleviate those doubts and to actually assess whether the new job will be an improvement on your current situation. Let me show you how. Number 1, consider company culture. Think about cultural characteristics that you really liked in companies that you've worked for previously. Or alternatively, think of things that you really disliked in previous experiences and what was missing. For example, did you get a buzz from working long hours with your team because you really enjoyed that sense of camaraderie? Or did you prefer a more autonomous role where you could work from the quiet of your home? Did you enjoy donning your power suit each day, or were you thrilled that your flip-flops were acceptable? My point is that everyone is different. So once you identify the values which are important to you, then you can look out for these values when you go on the office tour during your interview. And then you can see whether that company culture is actually suitable for you. Number 2, evaluate people. Assessing your potential future boss or co-workers is another great way of determining whether the job is a good fit for you. It may feel a bit arrogant to be judging people as soon as you've met them, but at the end of the day, the people who are surrounding you can really make or break you at work. Ask if you can meet your team, and definitely while you're in the interview with your actual supervisor, pay attention to their body language. Do they get you when you're talking to them? Do you get them? Each person has their own tolerance level for certain personalities, so be realistic when you are introduced to these new colleagues and see whether you can actually get on with them and enjoy your time at work. Number 3, review job activities. If there are tasks in your current role that drive you absolutely potty, or there are activities that have been advertised in the new job role which you are desperately wanting to do because it furthers your development, then clarify these expectations during the interview process. There's nothing worse than joining a new firm and then finding out that 70% of your role is doing something that you were actually trying to get away from, or that your career aspirations aren't going to be met. Obviously, you can't turn around to your potential employer and tell them that you're not willing to do anything tedious. Even a panda cuddler has to clean up poop occasionally. But you can clarify what activities you'll be doing as part of your job role and how much time will be dedicated to each. You can also talk about your growth targets and what you're looking for in terms of personal development. If your interviewer is kind of brushing off your concerns or your aspirations, then maybe you need to trust your gut instinct on this one. Number 4, identify basic needs. In my opinion, no matter how great a job sounds, if the salary doesn't cover your main expenses, then you're probably going to run into a bit of trouble. Sometimes a job has the developmental aspects that are wonderful for you, so you might need to sacrifice certain things. So it's important to gather what those things are in advance. What are the things you're willing to compromise on, so that you make a judgment call on this and are confident about your decision. Other than money, you also can think about things like flexible working hours. If you have a family, how much time are you willing to put into a job? How much time are you willing to commute? And other factors such as this. by understanding what your priorities are, you will be able to subtly work this into your application process. It's important for you to be honest about what things you're willing to compromise on, and also for your employer to know what your expectations are so that you don't run into any trouble later. So there are just 4 ways in which you can check whether a potential job is going to be a good fit for you. And there's lots of other things you can do, like checking company websites and maybe looking at Glassdoor reviews, perhaps finding friends of friends who actually work for the company and having a chat with them, see how they feel about the company, its culture, the people, etc., etc. Although you can't guarantee that that next job is going to be perfect for you, you can definitely minimize those doubts that you have and make a confident decision and have a great starting point to do that career transition. If you need guidance clarifying your career needs or need some support through a career change, then check out my website and get in touch with me.